Hey guys, DVSGames here. Welcome back to the video series of my climb to C1 in RTA. So where we last left off, I was chilling at around 1380. I'm not gonna lie, I've won some matches, I've lost some matches, I've gone up and down. But again, we're back at 1380. So go ahead and take a look at this match now. Now here you can see I go more, he goes Oliver, so obviously we're both fighting for first turn. He did go with a couple of AoEs, so I decided to use my Wind Monkey and my Juno for any kind of debuffs that he's going to put on me. We'll take a look here and see what happens. Wind Monkey's skill 1 stun is super strong now, and I mean it's really amazing. Being able to use Juno to cleanse debuffs and get everybody's health back up was amazing and phenomenal. And you know, it's funny because I have Wind Robo at over 100% accuracy, and he missed the stun on a water unit. That was kind of sad. But here there's just enough sustain from the Juno to go ahead and keep me in the fight long enough for my Belinus to take over, and he's able to get the win for us. So that was cool. I think that took us up to 1391. Yep. I'll go ahead and take a look at this replay. I know I lose this one, and the point drop was actually pretty hard for me. Took me out of C1 back into F3. But again, we're going speed game here, so I did bring in Fran for a little bit more immunity. I brought up Tesarian thinking that, you know, if he gets through, the Oblivion would help. I did strip everything, which was great, and he started going after the Fran, which I thought was amazing because I really was counting on my Belinus to get his provokes and his defense break off. But of course, that Diana just causes so many problems with all this attack bar that she gets. And of course, everybody else, you know, Oliver's going to take so many turns in a row as well. And he just impulse guns and increases cooldowns, and he really controls me a lot. And obviously I'm missing something about that light, it's a String Master, I believe, right? I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure it was a String Master. And I'm obviously not paying attention to something about her, but something in her skill kit actually had me to the point where I couldn't overcome it. I realized I'm not doing a lot of damage, and of course that's going to cause me to lose. But again, 1380 is where I got dropped down to. It dropped me out of C1 back into F3. So we'll go ahead and take a look here. Now in this particular matchup, I think I'm going into this with the intention of banning the Verd, which is what I do. He takes out my speed lead, which is fine. I know my Robo's quick, and like I said, he does have over 100 accuracy. It's a little bit of overkill on the accuracy, and somehow I'm still missing stuns on certain units. Of course, Riley's super high resistance, so you expect her to resist. But Belinus again comes through, gets us out of that loss. Takes us back up to our C1 position. And then going into this one, this is when I read a post in our Discord that apparently C1 is looking like it's going to be cut off at about 1427. So we're trying hard to get up there. Yeah, here I don't like Shizuka. I really don't like dealing with Shizuka. The rest of it I think I'll be alright with, but Shizuka's definitely a problem for me. And obviously the Josephine, like I said, since her buff, she gets so much more damage off since she doesn't need crit rate anymore. But here I have three forms of control in Despair runes on Belena's, Despair runes on Moore, and the freeze coming from Varad. And honestly, once you're able to actually get one of those stuns off to stick, you can control the Josephine. That's what I've learned so far this year, or this season. I'm sorry, not this year. Since they gave her that buff, I've seen her a lot more, and I've just learned bring in multiple units that can CC, and eventually, if you can control her long enough, it'll be fine. So let's see, took care of that. Here, this is just me and my guild leader. He wanted to test something out. I'm not exactly sure what we were testing here, but I think he wanted to test his Water Monkey King, which I was kind of going to be a jerk and take mine instead of his, since he waited till last pick to get him. But I didn't. I did know that he was going to probably bring it out. I know he's been working on it. So here, you can see that he knows about my Varus. We've talked about it a little bit, and he's going after it. Now, for some reason, my Varus will not stun. He will not revenge. He's on double revenge, by the way. I think he finally gets a revenge proc while he's stunned, though, so he doesn't actually get it off. And now he comes in clutch. That was his first revenge. He was able to do what he needed to, and then from there, I got really, really lucky, and I luck stacked this game. Anyway, this didn't count in actual rankings. This was a goodwill battle, so it just stayed there, but it's my bragging point since he took away my GB12 time, or my #1 spot in GB12. So I get to brag about it. It's going to be in the video. Sorry, Kyle. Going into this one, again, I'm seeing a lot of Olivers. And again, the Water Druid, Abilio, he's kind of a problem for me. I don't like it, but again, you deal with what you can. Now here, I know Leica's going to be a huge problem for me, but of course, we're going to keep trying to take him out. Obviously, it's not going to work out well for us because Oliver I have problems with, Abelio I have some problems with, and then, well, Leica's just Leica. Alright. Okay, so I think this is where we're at now. Here, as you can see, he's wind and fire heavy, so I tried to make it more in my favor by taking out one of his fire units, or I felt like I had a better chance with the fire units coming out. And if I can control long enough, I can make this happen. I know I can. The question is, can I control long enough? And of course, the biggest problem we're going to have is Riley's immunity that she keeps putting up. I don't know if this was inexperience on his part or just total luck on my part. As you can see, his Dominic is super strong, but the provoke from Belenus is amazing, and then he gets to revenge attack and possibly stun. So again, I'm not sure if that was luck on my part or inexperience on his part. Maybe he was using the wrong buff at the wrong time. But that got us up a little bit. So we went into our next match. And here again, you'll see I first pick more. Okay, now I do remember this match. This match was really tough. I was going to ban the Kinky out right away. And then I thought, okay, never mind. I got to ban the Verd. Of course, he took out my Belenus, who is the best chance I had for the damage that I needed. But at the same time, he also took out, or I only had 2 strippers, which I knew wasn't going to last because Chung Pong is not built on any kind of tanky runes. So I figured maybe I could make it work since he has so many buffers. The Bulwark would be able to actually heal quite a bit, and then I'd be able to target down one monster. So I got rid of the Dominic first because obviously he was the hardest thing that I was going to have to worry about. And then I figured, okay, I'm going to go after the Kinky next. And here I actually thought I had it because I was like, okay, he's dropped his guard a little bit. I've got some of my I've got some buff removal still going on. I've got some health going back. Here I think I made the worst misplay though. I went after the Kinky while he was shielded and had immunity, and I think that was my biggest mistake because obviously he got stunned by the Kinky, or my Bulwark got stunned by the Kinky. I couldn't heal back up. I couldn't put him low enough to kill, and then Wind Monkey just gets murdered here. So I think that was a horrible misplay on my part. I honestly think I could have won that match. But again, it dropped me down, so back up to climbing we go. Like I said, the cutoff point we believe is going to be around 1427. So I'm trying to get up to that point. Now here you can see he's going to go for a speedy route. So I take the Leo. I take the Tessarion too, because I see multiple passes that I can take advantage of. I did bring Varus in here, so again, I didn't just bring Varus as a flex against my guild leader. I do actually believe that he is a very good pick into things that are going to be constantly hitting with AoEs and whatnot. Again, it all comes down to being able to control Juno and not letting her get too many heals off. So as you can see here, I'm obviously trying to kill the Wind Monkey before Juno goes off and ends up getting her heal. But we're able to pull that one out. And then the final match that I have done recently is this one right here. Again, first picking more. I don't know what that Dark on Mioji does, or Dark Weapon Master does, but I know he's normally fast. He's normally in a cleave team. I figured I'd take the Leo out as a last pick, thinking that he would maybe ban it, but he didn't, which works for me. So as I said, 100% accuracy. Definitely should be getting all the stuns, and I was kind of proud of this one. I felt like going in, I made a mistake in taking the taking the Leo. I figured if you banned the Leo, I would kind of get screwed. So I was happy about this. This actually seemed like it was pretty good. Real quick, I just want to go over the runes of the monsters that I used here. Most of them you guys have seen already, but for those that either haven't seen the video before, the series before, or haven't really cared for it, I understand not a lot of people do. This is my Moor or Water Ryu, and he's on Despair Will. Actually, here, let's move this down here. And he's on speed, HP, and attack. Runes are all maxed, and for the most part, they're pretty well grinded. Here's his artifacts. I always pick him as my first pick if I get the option to. Right now he is the only speed lead I have in my box other than Fran. But there's him. And then let's see, we followed up typically with our Wind Robo, who is currently not 100% level 40 yet. He's right on the verge of it, but he's on speed, HP, accuracy. There's his 1, 3, and 5. I do believe this is the fastest set that I have that I can put on him. And as you can see, he's only 295, but 95% accuracy, and his artifacts give him more accuracy on skill 3. So like I said, definitely over 100%. In this particular set of matches, I did use my Varad quite a bit. So here's his stats. He's at 197, almost 2k defense, and an additional 10,000 HP. As you can see, his accuracy is at 61%, and not a lot of crit rate, not a lot of crit damage. But I got him on Violent Will, and he's on defense, defense, defense. So yeah, that's why he doesn't have a lot of other stats. But there's a decent speed grind there, decent speed rolls here, and absolutely no grinds whatsoever on this run. Here he's got skill 3 accuracy, so it does definitely help him a little bit. Skill 2 crit damage for his second freeze. And here he's got some additional defense when his HP drops, and some less damage taken from wind. I really thought that would be important on him, since he's going to be targeted a lot by, you know, Dominics and Olivers and everything else wind that I hate. What else did I bring in? Obviously, I brought in my Belenus. I pick him in just about every match. Here's his stats. He did go down a little bit in defense, but he's currently at 206 with almost 10,000 extra HP and just over 650 in defense. I got him on speed, crit damage, and defense on Despair Will. Here's his 1, 3. Oh, that's not grinded at all. Need to work on getting grinds for that. And his 5. Here he's got skill 3 crit damage and skill 2 accuracy. I really wish those were swapped around, where it was skill 3 accuracy and skill 2 crit damage, but it is what it is. A little bit of extra damage by defense. He does have multiple hits on his skill 2 and skill 3, so it does help him out a little bit. Let's see, I've shown you guys my Leo before. I did use him again, so here he is. He's on attack, crit damage, HP. 0 speed, 27,000 HP, and around 1,200 defense. 1111 on his attack. I didn't realize that before. Kind of cool. And crit rate is 95%. So his 1, 3, and 5 look like so. I would definitely like to get him on a Nemesis set instead of that Blade set. But as you can tell, the Blade set is kind of good. I need it for the stats that it brings. Obviously, I can get better than the 4 crit damage that I had to reroll there. Here's his artifacts. Skill 2 crit damage, not horrible. The life drain, it does go into effect with the vampire runes, so I thought that would probably work out well for him. Counterattack damage does nothing. Additional damage by speed does nothing. But minus 19% damage from fire, I thought that would be helpful too. Wind Monkey is another one that I used a couple of times. He's on Violent Revenge, and as you can see here, he's on HP, attack, defense, and he's got good speed subs here, good speed sub here, and a little bit of work that needs to be done there. He's got a skill 2 accuracy for his defense break, skill 2 crit damage, which is great for him. Counterattack damage I thought would work out well, since he's going to be countering whenever they attack his allies. Crit damage as the enemy's HP drops, definitely good. Counterattack damage again. And his overall stats are just like so. As you can see, there's no crit rate, there's no crit damage. He just has a lot of stats to make him tanky and help him stay alive. But he's sitting at 229, and that's without a speed on slot 2, so I thought that was pretty good. The Varus, who I'm always very proud of, not necessarily the best, but there's his stats, and he's on Will Double Revenge, as I said. However, he doesn't revenge as much as I thought he would. And here's his 1, 3, and 5. Again, more runes that can definitely be worked on. I need more grinds. His skill 1 accuracy, really important. Skill 1 crit damage, really important. And then here he's got crit damage taken, so he can take a couple of hits. Very bruisery. And I think I used Fran once, if I'm not mistaken. So there's Fran. You've seen her before. Plus 21,000 HP, plus 500 defense, plus 154 speed, and she is on Violent Will. Now it has been brought to my attention that this is probably my best Violent Will set, and I really should move it onto a different monster. And I wouldn't disagree. I think it is my best Violent Will set. But I can't bring myself to not use Fran in so many different situations. Like here, I really need to get that crit rate grinded out, maybe either into accuracy or resistance. But right now, it works well for her. Here, I need some grinds for defense percentage, and since this isn't really a damage dealer rune, I can grind out that crit damage either into HP or maybe possibly into resistance. Here we got skill 3 recovery plus 11%. That's pretty good for a big heal. Additional damage by speed and HP. She's got a lot of HP. She's pretty fast. And here, more speed, more damage by speed, and her speed goes up when she loses HP. So hopefully she can get turns more often. But as of right now, guys, that's my box. That's what I've been using. Don't have too much else I can show with that. But here's where I'm currently sitting. I'm at 1414. We're currently the 6th of December, so we're a little less than 2 weeks out. I think we got about 11 days before the end of the season. And here I am, sitting pretty. The very midpoint of C1. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to keep doing more wings, or just wait to see where I decay to and see how much I have to climb from there. Anyway, thanks a lot for coming on the journey with me, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Laters.